I'm Abby.
And I'm Uchenna.
And this is Shine Your Eye, a podcast about the good and the wahala, here at home, back home, and around the world.
So join us as we inform, inspire, and enlighten all that shines bright in our community. Hi, Abby girl.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm awesome.
Good. What's been up? What's you doing?
I don't know. What is up? Nothing.
What is up? It's one of those days.
Yes. What day is it? What about you? Anything new?
I've been shopping lately.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I hadn't really done much shopping, and I noticed that. So now I have a newer job, and it's hybrid, and I needed to get shoes. I noticed that I didn't have a lot of professional shoes, and the shoes that I did have were, because I hadn't worn them in some time, they were like dry and just old-fashioned and just need to be thrown away. So I had to invest in some shoes. So I bought like 3 or 4 pairs of shoes recently and some perfume. What about you?
It's interesting that you bring up shoes. I definitely need to go to the store to get shoes because I mostly work remotely. So it's this up.
Right.
And then I went to a conference last year and I actually injured myself.
Oh.
Because I was wearing flats and it was in Vegas. I was staying at the Caesars.
Okay.
And the conference was at Bellagio next door. So there was a bunch of walking and I did all of that walking in flats. And then
well, what's the alternative? You wouldn't do that in heels, right?
I should have worn like something with arch
tennis
support.
shoes. Oh, got you.
Because it just did a number on my leg. It still hurts months later.
Oh no.
So and the physical therapist told me that I need to wear more arch support shoes, including at home, because I'm at home barefoot most of the time in during the workday. But also I was at church at the end of last year and I brought out some shoes. I was like, oh, this is gonna be cute to wear with whatever I'm wearing. And then I'm on stage singing. I sing in the choir. And the heel comes straight off.
Embarrassing.
Yes. And walking off was so interesting because I'm like, let's play this off. But like,
you were hopping?
It's straight up. No, I was sliding. So people couldn't tell. But like, it straight up came off. I guess like, you don't think about it, but during the pandemic, we didn't wear these shoes. We didn't get new shoes, right? So the shoes looked fine.
Exactly.
But the integrity is not there.
At all. One day I was walking and I had teaks, and teaks are pretty, expensive flats. And they had like a blue bottom, and I was leaving blue pieces all over. And I was so embarrassed. And I said, oh, okay, no. So, yeah.
Teaks aren't even like, at least for me, they're not popular right now, but they were really popular then.
Right, exactly.
So that lets you know when you got them.
Yeah, it's time. Just, I got some really cute shoes, so I'm really proud of myself. But then I had to take one back because one of them had a defect, and so they had to mail them to my house, but I've not opened the box yet to see if, I'm hoping that the new ones they sent me are not defective because I'm just going to be upset. So now it's time for the praise report. We're going to talk about a local legend in the city, but he should be well known because of his accomplishments. We're shining the spotlight on a true powerhouse in the business community because of his impact. Kase Lawal, he is a name that may not be trending on social media, but his legacy speaks volumes, especially when we talk about Black excellence in business and finance. Born in Ibadan, Nigeria, Kase Lawal came to the U.S. for school and never looked back. He earned his chemistry degree from Texas Southern University and later got his MBA from Prairie View A&M, so 2 HBCUs. But it wasn't just about the degrees, it was the man that had a vision. Lawal started his career in oil and gas and went out and found CAMAC Holdings, an international energy company that became one of the largest Black-owned businesses in America. We're talking about global operations, major deals, and real power in an industry not known for its diversity. But what makes him especially worth celebrating is his role in Black banking. Lawal is the majority owner and chairman of the Unity National Bank, which is, by the way, the only Black-owned bank in Texas. Let that sink in for a minute. In a state as big as Texas, there's just one, and he's behind it. That kind of access to capital and community-centered financial services is rare and so needed. He's also involved in philanthropy, including efforts to fight HIV and AIDS through UNICEF and supporting both Houston and Nigerian communities. He served on presidential advisory boards, local development councils, and continues to show up where influence meets impact. And I know he was on the board for the Port of Houston, and I think he may have been the first Black person.
Oh, wow.
I believe so. And I believe the Port of Houston is either the first or second largest port in America, so that's something very big. Interesting fact, he was once a finalist for the U.S. Business Entrepreneur of the Year Award. And he's a proud member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity.
Interesting.
So, yes, he's about his business and what he can do about his people, for his people. And Kase Lawal is proof that you can be global and grounded, powerful and principled. And we see you, we honor you, and we celebrate you. Yay. Sometimes we see him around the community. Last time I saw him, I believe was last year, the Kinsey Institute, which is the largest private-owned African-American art collection. And they come to Houston to display their art, and his family was involved in that. So on the very last day, the Kinsey family came to speak, and he came there also to support. So he's also heavy in the arts. So yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I know his daughter, Cherie. Wow, she's really good people.
Awesome.
Love their family. So it's time for our Wednesday Wahala.
Okay, what are we getting into now?
Well, this one is about everyone shining their eye for real. Scam alert. Scam alert.
Scam possible. Scam possible.
So scams are getting more sophisticated every single day. And if you think it could never happen to you, think again. This episode is about something that affects everyone, regardless of age, education, or income. Because the truth is, we are all targets.
Yes.
So just recently, and I mean like not even last week, this week.
Ooh, okay.
Someone I know right here in Houston got a call from someone claiming to be from their bank. The caller was calm, polite, professional. They asked for personal information like their social security number and their banking credentials. And because it sounded so real, the person gave it to them.
Oh, no. Don't tell me
Within
that.
hours, their credit cards were drained. Their bank account was wiped out. They thought everything was gone.
Oh, that's so scary.
And for hours, they thought everything was gone. Thankfully, they acted fast. They talked to their bank, and the bank was able to credit the money back. I assumed that the credit was provisional.
Okay.
And that it'll become final. But hopefully the right outcome happens there. And this person was not elderly. They were in their 30s.
Okay.
They weren't necessarily naive. They live right here in Houston, just like us. So have you or anyone you know ever gotten one of those fake bank or other calls or nearly fallen for something like that?
I received one a couple of weeks ago. It was someone saying that I owed toll money. And the funny thing is, I actually did, quote unquote, I have 2 cars, kind of, sort of. And my sister uses one, and she, for some reason, didn't have the toll tag on it. So I actually did owe. So I thought, did she not pay? Because a couple of weeks ago, I said, I got this. She said, okay, I'll pay. So, I was like, didn't, because they said it went on my my credit report. And I was like, and they said, okay, can you just, can we just pay over the phone? And I said, no.
You talked to them on the phone?
Because okay, let me go back a little bit more. I received a text from
that's how it starts.
But this was a legit text though, because it was for an online doctor's appointment that I had. And they said that they needed to reschedule the appointment, and I was going to receive a call from an 833 number.
That's why you answered.
That's why I answered. Okay. Right. And so I thought, oh, this is them calling me back. But it wasn't. It was another. And I was like, oh, okay. So it just Yeah, it was just the perfect timing.
You have explained yourself adequately. Thank you.
Yeah.
But let's be real. This is a touchy topic. A lot of us know someone or suspect someone who isn't making their money the clean way.
Right.
I used to own Zanzibar Houston. We've talked about it on a prior show. And the fraud was wild. We'd get chargebacks all the time. People disputing charges from cards that, were spent at Zanzibar, but it wasn't theirs.
Right.
And we'd be out hundreds, if not thousands. Meanwhile, the fraudster had just been in the club popping bottles, living it up.
Did you see there was some people in Nigeria for Dirty December? They were upset that a lot of people from the diaspora had went there and then is it chargebacks at the term? They said that they weren't there.
Wow.
And yeah, so that happened a lot. There were a lot of comments on that.
That's interesting. That seems like it's a little bit different because here the fraudsters were probably our patrons in using the card. It sounds like the real people use their cards and just disputed it, which is fraud too, by the way.
It's still fraud. Still a scam.
This episode is not about shaming anyone.
Right.
But we can't stay silent, and we have to protect ourselves and each other. So, in 2023 alone, Americans lost over $10 billion to scams. Billion
with the B.
The B. The top fraud categories were imposter scams.
Okay.
So think this is Norton Antivirus, or this is Microsoft, or this is your bank.
Okay.
Online shopping scams.
Thinking you're you're buying from Nordstrom, but you're not.
But you're not. Or like eBay.
Oh, I see.
Or PayPal. That could also be it. And then number 3, investment fraud.
Okay.
Where you want to invest in crypto.
I see.
And they tell you to send the money here or whatever.
Imposter scams, would that also include like the romance? Like, I'm saying I'm somebody on that's different. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The romance scams are part of that 10 billion for sure. And it's not just the elderly falling for this. Millennials, Gen Z, professionals, and immigrants are being targeted more than ever.
Interesting.
Scammers are using phones, calls. That's the same thing. Phone calls, text messages, emails, fake websites, entire fake websites, social media, and now AI voice cloning.
Oh, yeah.
So even if it sounds like your cousin, it might not be.
It might not be.
So what do you think makes people let their guard down, even when the red flags are right in front of them?
It could be timing. Like for me, when they called me, it just happened to be the right time. I could have easily fallen for it. And some people say it could be, depending on the type, it could be greed when they say, if you just give me this $100, you'll get back $2,000. So it could be some of that, long throats.
Yes. I've heard stories like that, like the inheritance scams.
Yes.
So someone will call you and say that your long lost fill in the blank has passed and they left you something, but for you to get the money, you just have to send this much.
Right.
So they tell you you're going to get hundreds of thousands or millions, you just have to send 10,000 or something. And that is greed. Money coming from where you did not know.
Right, exactly.
And you don't even know this relative.
Right.
So here's some common scams that you should know about. So check fraud is a type of fraud.
People are still writing checks?
Tell me about it, right? But with check fraud, stolen checks or checks are stolen from mailboxes.
And then that makes sense. Okay.
So it might be you getting a check, but businesses still write checks and issue them.
That's very true.
They wash it with chemicals. They rewrite it completely, right? Like sometimes a person will take a check and change like 45 into 450 or something. Okay. But sometimes they get the check, wash it, and just have a new payee, a new amount, and deposit that into accounts. It's old school, but it's still booming. Okay. Then romance scams, like you mentioned. Scammers build fake relationships online and emotionally manipulate victims into sending money. It can go on for months. So like you could meet a person on online dating or even just in the DMs on some site, and then they talk to you and you guys build up a relationship, and then, they need to have surgery. Right. Or there's a business, some emergency that they need, money to invest in. I made a friend when I was in San Antonio.
Yes.
And she told me about someone that she knew who had done online dating and met a guy who I think he was from Jamaica or something. And they were talking. And I mean, she met the person in real life, right?
She met the person in real life.
But he was talking about these business dealings and then asked her to invest. And so she's up here thinking that she's investing in businesses. And then there were no businesses.
There were no businesses at all.
So keep an eye out for romance scams, investment in crypto scams. So fake crypto doubling, Forex flipping, make $10,000 in a week scams. If someone is promising big returns with no risk, it's probably a scam.
It's probably a scam, right?
Tech support and phishing scams. So fake calls, fake emails, fake pop-ups.
Right.
Scammers pretend to be your bank, Apple, Amazon, or even the IRS, and they are getting slick with the language and the timing.
Okay.
This isn't in here, but there was another scam that I was thinking about. So another one that I remember one of our mutual friends calling me about was someone calling from the Social Security Administration.
Oh.
Yeah. They're like, oh, there's been a problem. And then they like try to put it on you, like you've done something wrong. And if you don't fix this, if you don't clear this up immediately, the law enforcement is going to come knocking on your door.
That could be a scary one.
And then all you need to do is send this much money or whatever. Thankfully, she hung up the phone.
Oh, good.
And talked to me. And by the way, some of these people like have done their research on you. They know where you live. They know where you've lived. So they like point to some things in your background that you think, oh, only these people could know. But always there's like time pressure. And then there's usually like somebody official in the mix. You can call. You can go find a legit number online and verify.
Exactly.
And that is a pointer for escaping these things. Like talk to somebody you know, bounce it off of them to see if it's a scam. And if you're really not sure and you want to check, call whoever they propose to be from. So out of these scam types, which one do you think people underestimate the most? And have you ever gotten one of those wild DMs about flipping $500 into $5,000?
I get more of the like your sugar daddy one. Yeah, that's probably the ones I've gotten the most. But which one do people underestimate the most? I'm gonna say maybe the fake calls and IRS. That would be my thought because it also could be you think that you've taken care of something. Like, okay, it's the IRS or the Social Security Administration. I paid the money and things are good, so nothing happened. So that would be my guess.
Yeah, interesting. So I wanted to actually bring up another one that happened in my church once. It was a WhatsApp scam.
Oh my gosh!
I know you've had this
all the time. If you're a Nigerian church group, you've gotten this before.
So this one is hitting our communities hard. It's a WhatsApp account takeover, basically. So you get a message with a 6-digit code followed by someone saying, I accidentally sent my code to your number. Can you forward it to me? And then if you do, boom, they hijack your account.
Right.
And then once they've gotten into your account and you, meanwhile, maybe you're sleeping or you're like, I can't log in, but you're somewhere.
Something's going on, yeah.
They message your friends and family pretending to be you. And then they say, I need $200 really quick. Could you send it? You know, and within our immigrant community, it's often, oh, can you send it to this number in Nigeria?
Exactly.
Or I don't have an account there and I need to send money there. So do you mind sending it and I'll give it back to you?
Right.
My card isn't working. Can you Zelle me? Blah, blah, blah. Because the message is coming from a real account of a person that you actually know, oftentimes people believe it.
Right.
And they just
give
send
the
it.
money, yeah.
So it happened in our church a couple of times. But the first time it happened, like I had gotten messages too, but I was like, I don't talk to this person frequently. I didn't even read it. I'm so bad. But one of the church members sent the money, like straight up. And then as soon as he sent it, he was like, wait a minute. And he called. And he called the wife of the person whose account had been hacked. And she was like, don't send it. Don't send it. And it was too late.
I think when I get those kind of requests, I'll ask the person some question that they would only know. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the best way is to just call. Not and don't call on WhatsApp, right?
Right.
Call in real life.
Right.
Talk to them for real. So how to protect yourself. In WhatsApp, turn on the 2-step verification.
Yes. And you should try to do that on everything that you have. Everything.
Everything that has multi-factor authentication, you should turn it on.
Yes.
It's more steps, but it's to protect you.
To protect you.
And honestly, people should have password keepers, like so that all of your passwords are not the same across your accounts, because all you need is one hack to happen, and then your password for everything is out there.
Right.
So turn on 2-step verification. Never share the WhatsApp verification code.
Never share. And then they will post in the group, I just got this number, and the fraudster, the scammer is in the groups. They can use the number. So don't post, don't screenshot, whatever. Okay.
And like I said, if someone asks for money, even if it's a familiar person, call them to confirm.
I love that.
Okay, so then there are also 419 and advance fee scams.
Okay.
So these are classic scams. Pay me now and get a big payout later, which we kind of talked about. But they've evolved. So now there's inheritance claims, scholarships, business deals, government grants. Also, these jobs, like a lot of people work remotely.
Yes, LinkedIn. There's a lot of job scams. That's true. Yes.
So you apply, they accept you, and then they tell you you need to buy this equipment.
Right.
Send the money. And you never get the equipment.
You never get the equipment. And you never get the job.
There's no job.
Right.
And your money is gone. And, there are ways you can send money that are protected, right? Like if you use your credit card or if you use your debit card. But if you wire funds to someone, that's instantaneous. Right. It's often not recallable. Like that money is gone. So it's like cash. Yes. All right. So here's how to spot a scam.
Okay.
If you remember nothing else, remember this.
Okay.
SCAM.
Which spells scam.
Scam.
But I think this is going to be something different.
The S stands for sudden urgency. If they are asking you to do something suddenly, that is a red flag that this might be a scam.
Give the money to me right now.
Right now, yes.
Okay.
I didn't even mention, there's this other scam where they call you and they tell you that your family member is in jail or in the hospital.
A common one.
And I just need to help them, and they're asking for money. Send it now. And people are like, oh my God, my loved one. And they send it. And then they call their loved one, and their loved one's like,
I'm asleep at home.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So if there's sudden urgency, take a beat, take a breath, and look further into it. Or just hang up the phone, which is my thing. C is for confidential. If they tell you, don't tell anyone. So this happens a lot with those investment scams, right? Especially for older people. They'll be like, this is Norton antivirus. Someone's gotten into your computer. You need to transfer all your funds to another place. And don't worry about telling anyone because you don't want them to know that this happened or whatever.
Yeah, and that's a big red flag.
And don't tell the bank when you get there. Or I've heard this, like it'll be a bank imposter, and they'll call and say they're from the bank, but then they tell you not to tell the people at the bank. It's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
A.
Okay.
Asks for money. If they are asking you for money, that's a red flag. I mean, people do ask for money, but like, where do they do giving money to get money? Like inheritance.
Right, inheritance.
Why would you have to pay something to get something?
Like a job? Why would you have to pay for equipment?
Exactly. Most jobs give you the equipment, and not before you start. I mean, they give you the equipment before you start. They don't ask you for money before you start.
Right.
So gift cards, crypto transfers, wire transfers, all of that is sketchy.
It's sketchy.
And then M is for mismatch.
Mismatch. Okay.
So if things don't line up. Spelling errors.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Exactly.
Logos.
Wrong tones.
Yes.
Weird URLs. Like, oftentimes someone has already been scammed and they look closer and they're like, oh, there was one extra E or there was one extra L. That L wasn't an L, it was an I.
Mm-hmm.
That's how scammers try to do that. If something feels off, pause, call someone, Google it, ChatGPT it, take that photo or something, go look it up online through reverse photo.
Take some time and look at the number too. Sometimes you look at that number, it's associated with a scam.
Mm-hmm. It's well known that this is a scam number, but you just almost fell for it.
Right.
So yeah, if you've go ahead.
So I was just saying, S is for sudden urgency. Mm-hmm. C is for confidential. A is for asking for money. Mm-hmm. And M is for mismatch.
Yes.
Okay, remember.
So remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been scammed, don't keep it to yourself. It's embarrassing, but sometimes the authorities can actually do something about it. Mm-hmm. So act fast. If it involved your bank, call your bank immediately. So this person who was scammed this week they went into the branch the very next morning, and they were able to help. Call immediately. Wires are instantaneous. Mm-hmm. So if it's a wire, you're going to want to tell your bank as soon as possible. Don't wait till the morning.
Okay.
Call, right? Because there's things that they can do to try to reach out to where they sent the money to.
Okay.
Report it to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, at reportfraud.ftc.gov. And to IC3.gov.
IC3, I've never heard of that one before.
So sometimes, especially like with wires, it's international. So you're going to want to tell like the FBI and, whatever the international bodies are. Okay. And so that's why you want to tell both of these bodies.
Okay.
If you do get scammed, you want to change all your passwords, all of them.
All of them.
Yep. And freeze your credit report if needed. And that's why I recommend a password keeper, because if you don't have similar passwords, then you don't necessarily have to change all of your passwords. But, a lot of these frauds, they ask you for information, right? And now your key information is out there. Mm-hmm. And I know my social is out there because I've been part of these breaches.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Right.
So I have to pay attention to my passwords because...
And most of us have been part of a breach, right?
Right.
It's probably rare that you haven't been,
yes,
right?
Exactly. You haven't been using nothing
exactly.
if you've been part of a breach. So let's talk about the cultural side of it.
Okay.
So here's the truth, right? Especially when we talk about scams, right? We're talking about... Mostly in this segment, we're talking about not being scammed, but we've talked about the other side, right? Like there's people in our community, we glamorize fast money.
Yes.
But no job, no business. These people have no job, no business, but they're driving a Benz. They're wearing designer. They're traveling every other week.
They're in business.
They do business.
They do business.
But honestly, fraud doesn't just hurt the system. It hurts us too.
Right.
It hurts small businesses. When we were running Zanzibar, it hurt us.
Right.
Like you thought you had that money and you gave out the goods for it, and now you don't have it. It hurts unsuspecting victims. It hurts real families. So we as a community should stop praising the flash and start asking for the facts. What do you think?
It's going to be hard.
I think so, yeah.
We're a very materialistic community. We like the flash, and I don't think we do ask. And some of us may know, but it's not something we kind of harp on. So, I don't think I have any close friends that I know of that are in it, but you never know. But there's some outliers. Been associated
that
with
are close enough.
So. Yeah, that's something to think about. I mean, what does that mean in practice, though? To say, I'm not your friend because you're a scammer. What are you gonna do?
I mean,
are you like?
I don't know how to.
So I remember our friend was telling me a story about a time where they were friends with a well-known scammer that if you look at the FBI, if you Google their name, you'll see a press report on. And do you remember back in the day, Belvedere was the hot club to go to, and they were questioned, and there were pictures of that particular person with that scammer at Belvedere, and they were asking them about, what's your involvement, and, all this kind
law
of stuff.
enforcement?
Yeah, the FBI. Yeah,
Wow.
so they're, and remember there was a time where the scammers were like everywhere, rampant, and then it kind of went down.
That was during our time because Belvedere and Zanzibar coexisted.
Exactly. So they get one person, they start snitching, and everyone starts. So that time of credit card fraudsters, I don't know, it could still be happening, but back then it was
still happening.
I mean, it is happening, but it was like
it was
rampant.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
and they were popping bottles in our faces.
Yes, exactly. And then the FBI came in and they went down a little bit and goes back up and goes back down. So so I think it's something to be said that if you are associated with them, then there's a good chance that the FBI knows who you who you are. So, and another quick story is a friend lived in a community in the suburbs of Houston, and the fiance of a scammer was working for the home HOA or something, and they got found out, and so they lost their job. So, I mean, it's good, probably sweet in the short term, but in the long term, it may not be best for you.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I feel like what I'm hearing you say, and I agree, is keep your distance a bit. Right?
Unless you're a family member, then what do you do?
I think you would all the more keep your distance, right? Like, don't chop the money. I'm not saying anybody should go, like, report on them.
You're not?
No. It's not. Nobody has a duty to report. Nobody has a duty to report.
Okay, good to know.
I'm not saying that you need to report.
Good to know.
But you shouldn't participate. And you probably don't want to benefit. Like,
well, if they give you a gift, will you not accept it?
Probably would, but man, wouldn't it suck if they came and got it later, the government? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. We should talk about this off air.
So the truth is, scammers aren't going anywhere, but we don't have to make it easy for them. Protect your money, protect your identity, protect your peace. Share this episode, send it to your family group chat, to your auntie, to your friends, especially if they use WhatsApp.
Especially
if they've gotten strange calls or investment offers lately. Share it.
Sharing is caring. Now it's time for me to share what I'm digging in our What We're Digging segment. And I've been very busy lately, but I had the opportunity to sit back and chill a bit, and I watched the second season of Netflix's Survival of the Thickest. Have you watched the first season? It is so good.
What is this about?
So, I will say, like, okay, I'll tell you, but the second season was more enjoyable than the first season, which is rare, right? Usually the first season is good, and I really enjoyed the first season, so I even like, whoa, this is so good. So the show stars Michelle, I think it's Buteau. It's a French name, but in the show, her last name is Beaumont, and she's also co-created it. She's a well-known comedian. She had her own Netflix special. It follows the character Mavis Beaumont, a plus-size stylist who's picking up the pieces after a messy breakup and trying to build the life she really wants. It's funny, it's tender, it's real, and most of all, it's refreshing to see a character like Mavis at the center of the story. It's set in New York, and it's just... what's her name is on there? Fancy from Jamie Foxx show, Bouvier. Garcelle Bouvier is in there. A lot of other people. And so now, like I said, I liked the first season, but second season, it hit different. The writing felt lighter. It was tighter. The friendships went deeper. And Michelle Buteau, I hope I'm not saying her name incorrectly, was in her bag. There was something about how they handled growth and dating and all the chaotic but beautiful parts of adulting, and it just felt more grounded. So, I'm guessing you've not watched any of it. I think you would really enjoy it.
Okay. I
really, really enjoyed this season. I was so looking forward to when I saw that the previews about it was coming back. I was so like, I can't wait. And so I watched it all. It's they're 30-minute episodes. Okay, nice. 8 episodes per season, and I watched it all in one sitting because it was so good. So, and it's good to see more black women, and then plus size living the full life, joyful, complex lives, and it's a different type of role, and just not revolving around trauma and all of that stuff. So I just really, really enjoy it. It's the thriving, the messing up, the learning, and the styling throughout it. It's just really good, and it's inclusive. A lot of different demographics are represented in it. So if you've been sleeping on Survival of the Thickest, I think you should watch it. And I'm hoping there's an a season 3. I'm really hoping so.
If we go watch it, you guys, there can be a season 3.
Yeah, so watch it. And, on Netflix, what I learned is one of the data points that they focus on to see if they're going to renew it is if you binge it or not. So
binging is good.
Binging is good.
Okay.
So I think it's one you would want to binge. So if you want to support, especially like Black series and those that have characters in it, binge it. Even if you're like, okay, I can't even watch it all at once. I need to just let it play and then come back and watch it again because it's good for to get more representation on television.
Awesome. Now, Netflix is always one of my subscriptions that I'm looking to cancel. So at least I haven't yet.
Me either.
But at least I have something to watch now. So thank you.
Yeah. So that's what I'm digging.
Awesome.
You've been listening to the Shine Your Eye podcast, where the gist never ends. If you like this episode, give us a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen or watch us. And join the family. We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, feedback, and ideas for future episodes by emailing us at shineyoureyepod@gmail.com or connecting with us on social media at Shine Your Eye Pod.
Till next time, shine your eye, stay sharp, and keep the gist flowing. See you soon on another episode.